Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today, this video, I'd like to talk about the future of Tomorrowland. Now, there's been many talks for over about 10 years now about people saying when's there going to be a new Tomorrowland, when's it going to happen, and uh, and there's just been so many discussions about it, and people are very curious to see of whenever it happens. And of course, recently, there's a documentary series on the Disney Plus. It's called Imagineering Story, and they were interviewing a well-known Imagineer, and I'm probably gonna butcher his name. His name is Joe Rogie, if I'm pronouncing it right. He's the guy who actually designed Animal Kingdom. He worked on Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Breakout, The World of Avatar, and many other attractions. And it shows him, he has this like 3D model or so scale of Tomorrowland at Disneyland, and it shows him taking the Innovention showroom building, taking it off the drawing board to see what it looks like if they demolish the Innovention showroom building. And it really tells us that he's actually working on the new Tomorrowland and seeing what he could, what him and his Imagineers are going to replace that building with something. It could be whether it be like a new dark ride, it could be where that Tron coaster that could come to Disneyland, or it could be something else. Who really knows? And for that, yeah, and I'm hoping it's going to happen soon. So I think they'll probably announce it when the next D23 Expo comes about next year in 2021. That's when they'll have it again in Anaheim, and I think they'll probably announce it by that time when it happens. And they'll probably get that started under construction like the year after it gets announced, so that way they can have Tomorrowland be ready for the 70th anniversary of Disneyland, which that's in about 2025. So we'll be about 5 years away from that now, and that's going to be really interesting of how it's going to play out and everything. And so, um, for me, I think a Tomorrowland is on its way right now, and it's going to really happen in about a couple of years. And that way, Disney Imagineers can find some new ideas of what they will put in Tomorrowland and see what they can try to figure out and what type of attractions and what type of stuff we will see. For me, what I'd like to see in Tomorrowland, I just want to see something like new stuff in there, like new attractions, new entertainment, and new restaurants, and make Tomorrowland sort of like Galaxy Edge type, like be kind of like immersive, like you feel like you're in the future and everything. And I wouldn't mind seeing some attractions focusing on like space. Space is timeless, and there's many planets that we're still discovering in our galaxy, and our galaxy is really huge, and it will take years to, discover all these planets and everything. And I think that's what they should focus on, that is on the future of space. Not only that, I think they should also build a a time travel dark ride or so, time travel attraction. I think that would be great because I don't think we'll ever have a time machine, but looks sounds really cool, and it sounds like a good concept for Tomorrowland. Unless if they're gonna probably do something else besides time travel stuff, and however, um, while Joe Rogie, the Imagineer, um, for that's working on the new Tomorrowland. Uh, Before that actually happened on the documentary series, there were been sightings of people spotting him at Disneyland in Tomorrowland on the People Mover station, the platform station, surveilling Tomorrowland to see, to I guess to see what Tomorrowland will look like if when they like demolish most of it, and what should look like or whatever. And that's what he was really doing, was surveilling, and then of course make the 3D models and see what he would do if he would get rid of those buildings and what he would put right there and everything. So that's really interesting, and I'm glad to hear all about that. So yeah, Tomorrowland will be on its way soon. I guess we gotta really be patient for a while until whenever Disney does come out and uh, finally reveals about a new Tomorrowland happening. And of course, right now Disney is actually redoing the entrance of Tomorrowland and getting rid of those French fry rocks that they've been planning to get rid of for a long time, and especially to make more room for people to enter in and exit out of Tomorrowland, which that's good news as well. And and of course, they're actually just doing some little refurb work to not only just to the entrance but to certain parts of Tomorrowland right now. And for that, will we ever get the People Mover coming back? Maybe. The only way they need to bring back the People Mover is they're gonna have to demolish the tracks and especially demolish the showroom buildings and then just start over from scratch and then you'll get yourself a new People Mover again. So I think that's what they're gonna really do um, when they start working on Tomorrowland. And I had mentioned this before in my first video, which is called the Future of the Disneyland Resort. And for that, um, for me, I would like just to see what they're gonna really do with Tomorrowland and how they're gonna make Tomorrowland great again and how it's gonna look like and everything and what Tomorrowland should really look. I think they should just do like a retro future type of architecture style for the land and everything, like the showroom buildings, and everything. Like what we saw in the 1950s and 60s of the projections of how the future was going to be like at that time, and especially and taking some of the architecture designs from some of the retro sci-fi movies in the 50s and 60s, and especially in the Jetsons era at that time as well. And and will we ever get a coaster like Tron? Maybe. Who knows if that ever happens? And when they do Tomorrowland, not only they'll demolish most of Tomorrowland, but Spacebound will still stay there, will stand, and of course they'll absolutely do some major updates to it, which I think it desperately needs right now. And I think they'll give us a new queue line for it as well. And for that, yeah, I'm really curious to see what they're gonna really do when they start working on Tomorrowland and see what's gonna really happen. So who knows what's gonna really happen for this new Tomorrowland that will soon come in the near future. Alrighty, so thank you so much, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and if you really do, you can hit the subscribe button. And if you like to leave a comment below about the new Tomorrowland, what do you guys think? Do you think new Tomorrowland's going to happen right now, or you think it's going to be on its way, or they're going to do it later on? What do you think? So, yeah. As always, thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.